Hi, Chuck Vosberg here. We're working on our rental house renovation right now. We've already got started on the kitchen. And there are a few things that I want to warn you about when you start tearing out a kitchen. First of all, I want you to know that we're going to tear up this floor, so it doesn't matter how damaged it gets. But if the floor is going to remain intact, you definitely want to cover it up before you start doing any demolition work. The other thing you want to have to do here is make sure you cut off the electricity to the house before you start working. Or if you're able to, just cut off the electricity to the sections that you're working on. If you just do the sections you're working on, make darn sure you test those wires to make sure they're dead before you start cutting. And cut the wires before you remove any appliances. Otherwise, you're liable to pull the wires out of the junction box and then end up making a lot more expense for yourself with an electrician. So we've made sure that wires are dead. There's even wires that you may not even be aware of. Like, here's one up here. This is a live wire we didn't even know about that was for an abandoned light fixture. So that's another case where cutting off the electricity in here really paid off. The other thing is, and a lot of people make a mistake on this, is you need to disconnect the plumbing underneath the sink. Disconnect the drain and the supply lines. But the other thing that's important is to turn off the water to the house. And I'll tell you why. It's not good enough to just simply turn off the water underneath the sink. Because as you're tearing things out, it's really easy to accidentally hit one of those valves. And if you hit one of those valves and it breaks off, you wouldn't believe the amount of water that comes out of it. And when that happens, if you're not familiar with the house, the time it takes you to find the shutoff for the whole house, the place will just be flooded and it'll be a giant mess, and you've just made a lot of extra work for yourself. So turn off the water outside as well as under the sink before you start doing your tear out. So those are just a few things for doing the kitchen. One other thing is that keep in mind when you're tearing out appliances and things, there's a lot of sharp metal pieces on those, and they're also heavy. So be sure that you are working safe. Wear gloves. Make sure you have an extra person if you think you might have something that's heavy, like this oven that came out, because you definitely don't want to hurt yourself. There's no amount of money that you can save that's worth hurting yourself over. So we're going to get going on this kitchen. We're going to continue on, and I'll keep you posted as it goes. But here we go. Electric off, water off, safety first. This kitchen's coming out.